provided by Thomas Allgeier and Furnos. Based on the most relevant posts on LinkedIn about MarTech in CW 2829, Furnos is a B2B market research company working with enterprises to optimize their campaigns with account and executive insights far beyond AI. Welcome, everyone, to another deep dive. Today, we're unpacking the very latest in MarTech, straight from, the front lines of LinkedIn. And our mission, really, is to pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge, the key insights from all those conversations, basically giving you a shortcut to being, right up to speed on the top MarTech trends.
That's exactly right. Over the past couple of weeks, the whole MarTech conversation, it really seems to have coalesced around some pretty critical themes. Things like, how we're actually scaling AI beyond just novelty value, and the absolute imperative, really, of tightening up operational discipline, and maybe most importantly, the foundational need to strengthen our data pipelines. It's becoming less about just having loads of tools and much more about, the orchestration of it all.
Absolutely. So, we're diving into these, let's say, three core pillars of how MarTech's evolving right now. First, the rapid adaptation to agentic AI and predictive capabilities. Then, optimizing your existing MarTech stack for, actual ROI, getting more out of what you have. And third, building that unified data foundation which you need for, true personalization. Okay, so let's unpack that first one. The shift around AI, generative AI. It's been seismic, hasn't it? It's clearly moved beyond just being a buzzword. It feels like it's actually redefining the rules of the game now. What's jumped out from LinkedIn on this?
What's really fascinating, and maybe a bit jarring for some, is a pretty bold caution from John Miller. He actually put out a strong warning against signing multi-year MarTech contracts right now.
Really?
Yeah. His argument is basically that these rapid AI breakthroughs are reshaping the whole marketing landscape so fundamentally that traditional platforms, the ones built for human-driven workflows, they're quickly becoming outdated. So for him, flexibility, being able to pivot, now strategically outweighs any perceived savings you might get from a long-term deal.
Wow.
It's a huge pivot for how procurement usually thinks, isn't it?
That is a really powerful point, and it makes total sense when you see just how fast things are moving. And it's not just about drafting content, which I think is where a lot of people's minds still go first with Gen AI. Billy T, for instance, he highlighted how AI in social media goes way beyond just scheduling posts. He's pointing to things like real-time sentiment analysis for, say, crisis management, or hyper-personalized content delivered at scale, even predictive trend identification. It's about using AI for real dynamic engagement.
Exactly. And Susan Walsh reinforces that. She explains how AI is enabling this hyper-personalization, predictive analytics, automating entire workflows. She even notes the AI and marketing industry is projected to hit something like $47.32 billion in 2025. Huge numbers.
Wow.
And Adrienne Chen adds that email marketing, the channel everyone keeps predicting will die.
Right, it's always dying.
It's actually thriving, largely because of AI. She mentioned it's delivering a massive 600% ROI, mostly by using AI to understand audiences better, optimize the message creation, predict the best send times. It's like this classic channel totally reimagined.
Okay, now here's something that sounds really interesting, especially for, budget-conscious teams. Christopher Penn apparently offered a method to, get this, double your MarTech stack ROI without spending extra money.
Okay, I'm listening.
The key, he says, is to treat these deep research AI tools like Perplexity or ChatGPT as your own sort of MarTech consultant. You feed it screenshots of how you're using your current tools, tell it your goals, and then you ask it to identify unused features that could boost your effectiveness. It's like having an AI Sherlock Holmes digging through your existing toolkit, finding hidden value you already paid for.
That's clever. And it speaks to this broader shift, right? AI moving from just being a feature in a tool to becoming like a foundational layer across tools. Brendan Vance discussed how CMOs are really prioritizing AI for growth now. And this means MarTech stacks need to evolve into what he calls agentic, contextual, and conformed data foundations.
Agentic, meaning?
Imagine AI agents basically orchestrating workflows autonomously. But they need data that actually understands its own meaning. That's the contextual and conformed part, likely through a semantic layer. This vision, it fundamentally changes how we think about marketing ops. We're moving towards truly intelligent systems.
Right. So it's not just about having the AI checkbox ticked. It's about making sure it genuinely integrates and, crucially, understands the data, making it a seamless, smart part of the whole strategy. Ariella Fried really urged marketers to make sure their overall marketing strategy is, as she put it, plugged in before just plugging in AI tools.
Good point.
Yeah, she stressed, Be crystal clear on what business problem or customer need the AI is actually solving. And is your underlying data reliable? Is it even appropriate for AI? Otherwise, like you said, you're just throwing expensive tech at fuzzy problems and, well, hoping for the best.
Yeah, absolutely. And this ties straight into a really crucial insight from Scott Brinker. He said AI represents maybe the most profound structural shift in marketing since the web first arrived. That's huge.
Wow. Since the web.
Yeah. And he also highlighted how AI is totally upending the traditional SaaS pricing models we're used to. We're seeing this shift away from seat-based pricing towards consumption or outcome-based billing.
Oh, okay.
Which means marketers now need to forecast usage, almost like cloud ops teams do. It's a different skill set. And governance, he notes, is rapidly becoming the new battleground. As these AI agents start interacting across multiple systems, you need clear rules. Otherwise, well, potential chaos.
That does sound like a significant challenge to navigate. New pricing, new governance needs, all happening fast. So for listeners out there, what's maybe the first practical step they should take to even start preparing for this kind of shift?
I think the very first step has to be a really honest audit. An audit of your current AI usage or potential usage, and a hard look at your data architecture.
Yeah.
If you're going to be charged based on consumption or based on outcomes, you absolutely need granular visibility. You need to see how your tools are being used and, critically, the quality of the data feeding them. Without that baseline, you can't predict costs, you can't ensure the AI agents are even making sensible decisions.
Makes perfect sense. You need that visibility first. But, amidst all this rapid tech advancement, it was good to see John Goody reminding us that success, ultimately, still demands mastering both the AI sophistication and that genuine human connection.
Yeah, the human element.
Exactly. The strategy, the creativity, the empathy, those things remain indispensable. We need to make sure the tech serves a purpose that actually resonates with real people. It's a good grounding reminder, I think.
Definitely. Okay, so shifting gears a bit now, let's move to operational discipline. There's a really strong current on LinkedIn right now about basically getting more out of what we already have, less focus on new, shiny objects.
Yeah.
Sabrina Nelson pointed out that many mobile brands, for instance, don't necessarily need more MarTech. They just need the right stack, properly utilized. She cited a study showing businesses use only, wait for it, 42% of their MarTech stack's capabilities.
42%?
42%. That's a massive amount of untapped potential just sitting there. It makes you wonder if our tools are secretly competing in a who can sit idle the longest contest.
That is staggering. And you just think about all that wasted investment, right? Sarah Kolgrove actually corroborates this. She mentioned Gartner finding that marketing leaders utilize only about a third of their MarTech stack.
Even less?
Yeah. So why do you think this is so common? Why are so many companies struggling to use even half of their stack?
Yeah.
What's the core issue here?
Well, often it comes down to a lack of clear strategy and, crucially, integration. It's not just about buying tools in isolation. Lawrence Schwartz drives this home even harder. He revealed that a shocking 44% of marketing tech tools go completely unused. Not just underused, literally untouched.
Wow, completely unused.
Yeah. He calls it strategic misfire.
Yeah.
And he puts it down to, and I quote, over-adoption without integration, complexity without clarity, and execution without alignment. The solution, he says, stop thinking purely about tools and start focusing relentlessly on clear, measurable outcomes. It really demands a shift in mindset, from just acquisition to actual activation and optimization.
That clarity seems absolutely vital. It connects back to what Ariella Fried said about AI, too. Kyle Atwater-Morley's analysis, looking at over 1,500 MarTech stacks, showed that the top performers, they build lean-focused stacks that truly align with their strategy rather than just, accumulating tools like collectors.
Exactly.
It's about enabling strategic bets, not just adding features for the sake of features. Precision over proliferation. That sounds way more efficient.
It is, and this aligns perfectly with what Paul Stevenson observed. He noted that CMOs are often feeling overwhelmed and under-resourced in this landscape, and he emphasizes that a solid, integrated MarTech foundation isn't nice to have anymore. It's non-negotiable for future growth, especially if you want to leverage AI effectively for things like mass personalization.
Right.
Without that strong core, all the shiny new features in the world, well, they won't deliver their full potential.
So it boils down to making our current tools work harder and smarter for us. Mike Rizzo highlighted that marketing ops leaders often struggle to prove MarTech ROI precisely because they lack defined success metrics up front. He advocates focusing on business impact KPIs, things like pipeline contribution, customer acquisition cost efficiency, rather than just vanity metrics like clicks or opens. You've got to speak the language of the
Yeah,
business, right?
precisely. And Sharon Spooler found something quite telling. Only 20% of marketers report their data is fully integrated across systems.
Only 20%.
Yeah. And this directly leads to a profound lack of confidence in marketing's numbers when they report up. She sees a clear opportunity, maybe even a necessity, for marketing and tech teams to collaborate much more closely on infrastructure, especially for things like tracking event ROI accurately and prioritizing those revenue-focused KPIs. That integration piece is just crucial for building trust and showing marketing's real value.
It really sounds like it all points to this blend, doesn't it? Technology and human wisdom working together. And Zavorska's reminded us that, not everything needs to be automated or rebuilt from scratch constantly.
Good point.
She stresses maximizing your current tech first, and importantly, bringing in real people to connect the dots, to link ideas across systems, emphasizing that human logic, creativity, and drive. Sometimes the most efficient solution isn't buying another tool, but actually improving human collaboration and applying the tech you have more thoughtfully.
Absolutely. And Benny Hyder provides a really practical roadmap for marketing operations here. He highlights their essential role in things like nurturing programs through careful database segmentation and setting up the technical workflows. But he also stresses that critical need for seamless collaboration with sales ops, with rev ops.
Yeah, handoffs.
Exactly, on things like MQL definitions, clear funnel stages, smooth lead handover processes. This hidden hero role, as he calls it, is what keeps the entire marketing engine running smoothly, often behind the scenes.
Okay, so that nicely tees up our third theme. Data as the foundation. The bedrock of effective MarTech. Oliver Clarici-Lavieguerre pointed out something stark. Fragmented data integration is a major obstacle for marketing success. Apparently, 65.7% of professionals cite it as their single biggest challenge.
That's huge. Over 2/3.
Yeah. But here's the crucial insight he offered. Companies that adopt a customer data platform, a CDP, as that unifying layer, they can significantly cut operational costs. He mentioned by up to 35%.
35% cost reduction just by unifying data? That's a really powerful incentive.
It is. It makes a strong business case for getting your data house in order.
Definitely. And David McGrinney takes this even further. He argues that too many marketing experts are focused on the wrong problems, debating which platform to use or what content to create. Instead of actually connecting the data they already have, he states pretty bluntly that without connected data foundations, all those sophisticated tool sets just become expensive guesswork.
Oof. Expensive guesswork. Yeah.
Hits home, right? His core takeaway is simple. Always start with a data audit before anything else. Understand what you actually have before you try to build on top of it.
That phrase really does hit home. It's like, I don't know, buying a fancy new kitchen gadget before you've even checked what ingredients are in the pantry.
Exactly.
In Hannah Recker's experience, she shared something about HubSpot and Google Ads reporting. It illustrates this perfectly. She actually built custom data integration just to link ad spend directly to pipeline impact.
Going beyond the native reports.
Right, because the native reports often fall short, especially if you have longer deal cycles.
Yeah.
This kind of custom integration gives you much deeper, more accurate insights that can actually inform your decisions, not just report vanity numbers.
And this whole drive for unification, it leads directly into that perennial debate. Platform versus point solutions. Carlos Duez argues strongly for integrated platform strategies, specifically to combat data duplication and those damaging organizational silos. A unified platform, he says, provides that single source of truth. It enables centralized identity resolution, consistent personalization across all your channels. It just streamlines the whole architecture so data can flow naturally.
Yeah, it's about simplifying the architecture to let the data flow, rather than constantly wrestling with this tangled web of disconnected tools and data pools. Nick Mesker warned that fragmented data integration, it quietly breaks teams. It leads to disconnected data, duplicated effort, frustration.
Oh, absolutely.
The solution, he argues, involves clarity on data definitions, consistency in how data is handled, and strategic consolidation of where data lives and how it moves. This isn't just a tech problem, it's a profound team and workflow problem that bleeds time and money.
And all of this directly impacts personalization, which is often the end goal, right? Christian Thomas emphasized that just having real-time activation, pushing out a message quickly, that alone does not equal true personalization.
Interesting point.
Yeah, he argues that genuine personalization requires historical context. It needs a complete 360-degree view of customer preferences, their past behaviors, even churn signals. Your MarTech stack, he says, needs to remember the customer's entire story to be truly effective. Without that deep memory, it's just surface level, maybe even annoying engagement.
Which brings us neatly to something Simon Gregory highlighted, what he called a hidden gold mine: anonymous website visitors.
Ah, yes, the great unknown.
Exactly. He noted that up to 80% of your site traffic can be anonymous.
80%.
Yeah. And with third-party cookies vanishing, reframing marketing strategies to effectively personalize experiences for these anonymous users, well, it's becoming increasingly critical. It's this huge, often overlooked segment with massive potential if we can just understand and engage them better, even without knowing their name initially.
Indeed. And Mary Wallace reinforces this whole data foundation point. She described a CDP as basically the central nervous system for your MarTech. It unifies the audiences and then pushes the right data to the appropriate channels for communication. And François Mersma pointed out that nearly half of companies are now using integration tools, and stressing that stack cohesion, as he calls it, is just as important as embracing AI.
Stack cohesion. I like that.
Yeah, he put it very succinctly. Data is gold and integration is silver. You need both. The message from all these experts is really clear. The future of effective MarTech is absolutely built on unified, intelligent data foundations.
It really sounds like the absolute key takeaway then is making our data not just, available somewhere, but truly accessible and actionable across all our tools. It's about moving beyond simply having data to truly understanding it, and then utilizing it for that deeper, more meaningful customer engagement we're all aiming for. Well, if you enjoyed this deep dive, remember, new deep dives drop every 2 weeks. Also, check out our other editions covering topics like account-based marketing, field marketing, channel marketing, AI and B2B marketing, go-to-market, and social selling. Thank you so much for joining us on the deep dive. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss future explorations into the most critical topics in business.
And maybe just one final thought to leave you with as you navigate this really rapidly evolving MarTech landscape. Consider this. Are you just adopting new tools? Or are you truly architecting a future-proof system, one that deeply understands and genuinely engages your customer? That choice, between simply having more tools versus cultivating a truly smarter strategy, well, it's never been clear, has it?